Well, hey there folks, welcome back once again to the Hop House. It's Eddie here and it's time for another beer review. It's not a virgin beer review though, I have had this before on keg. Now, if you just found us here on YouTube, sorry for the light shining down on my baldy head, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, share, subscribe to this channel. It's the Hop House. We like hoppy beer, we like good house music, we're on the beer side. See if I can just shift that a little bit more out of the way. There you go, that's better, it's less shiny I suppose. It's not dazzling me anyway. Right, do you want to see what we're going to review today? Okay, so from Northern Monk Brewing, so we're going up north, we're going to Yorkshire. And this is, speaking of Yorkshire, don't mess with Yorkshire. That's what it is. Don't mess with Yorkshire. It is a Rhubarb and Custard Pale Ale, Northern Monk, 4.5% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. As I said, I've had this before. Now, what's interesting is I got this from Morrisons and it was £3 a can. But I've had this a few months now, and what I've been trying to do over the past few weeks, I've been jigging around my beer stash down there off camera, and I've been going through some of the older stuff and trying to review stuff that I've had for the longest period of time. So I noticed recently in my Morrisons when I went there last week, that this was actually in the manager's special sort of reduced section, and I think it had gone down to either 2 cans for £5 or 2 cans for £4. So it's sort of been discontinued. However, as you say that, at the same time, in Tesco, they've actually got a new Northern Monk 4-pack for £8, which is a Rhubarb and Custard Pale Ale. Maybe I should have saved this and reviewed them side by side, but I'm not, because I need to get rid of this. Not in a bad way, but you know what I mean. I need to review it. It's been in the fridge for a good couple of hours actually. So should we get it out into the glass? Don't mess with Yorkshire. And there was another one similar to this. You know the usual Northern Monk design. It says Northern Monk at the top and it has loads of artwork on it. But there was one like this with just a simple message on it. It was called It's Grim Up North, and that was a lovely, really hoppy pale ale. But that was a couple of years before I started the channel. It's probably one of my first Northern Monk beers I had. I just bought it just because of the name. Just because of the name. Look, I'm even going Yorkshire. I'm starting to speak Yorkshire lingo like drinking it. Aye, that knows. Right, beer in the glass. Or beer in glass. Get it into cup, lad. Get it into glass. Looking more bar tat. It is a hazy... Probably looks like custard actually. It does look like custard. With the red tint in the glass and a little bit of rhubarb as well. Yeah, that looks like a glass of custard with a white head. And look at that wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby. Look at that. I've got my Mrs. Gin glass. It's because it fits the whole can in and it's good for jigging. That looks tremendous. Really hazy. Fantastic looking white head on top. It looks like a top end craft beer. You know, that looks like something you could pay £5 or £6 for in a bar. And I said I'd had it before. So when we went on my non-stag do in Leeds in July, we went to the Northern Monk Refectory, and I'm pretty sure I had this or a version of it on keg. Now, bearing in mind, by the time we'd got to Northern Monk, I'd drunk a lot, and I don't really remember leaving. I certainly don't remember going to the last place. So yeah, I was a little tipsy, but I'm sure I spoke to the bartender there and tried this. I think I only had half of it. Did I? Or maybe I even had a taste. No, I did. I got a full pint of it because I quite liked it. And he says, oh, this is available in the supermarket as well in a can. So he didn't say that it was this name. It was just a Rhubarb and Custard Pale Ale. Probably about the same strength. Right. So that's what she looks like. She looks like a glass of custard with a lovely little white head on it. Shall we get some aroma? Shall we see if it smells like those old sweets, rhubarb and custard? Get that in there. We'll give it a whiff, see what I can sniff. Ah, lad. Oh, it does as well. It smells like rhubarb and custard. That's exactly what I'm getting. Oh, I love rhubarb crumble and custard when I was a kid. The sweets were okay. Thing is I've never been like a sweet person in terms of, you know, candy sweets. I quite like chocolate, but like in terms of sweets that you suck or sweets that you chew on, you know, like gobstoppers and Haribos and things like that. I've never really been into them, so the rhubarb and custard sweet, I wouldn't really be that bothered about, but it's the fact it just reminds me of rhubarb crumble and custard. I used to pick rhubarb from my granddad's, my step-granddad's allotment. I'm from Wakefield, it's Rhubarb Triangle, you know. Probably why they brewed it. Based in Leeds. So yeah, I'm getting rhubarb and custard elements to it. Getting like a pineapple essence. I'm certainly getting like an ice creamy sort of lactosey smell as well. Which is probably what they've used. What they tend to use is they use like a concentrate used for ice creams when they put things like this in beer, like additive beer. I'm getting a little bit of maybe pineapple. Sort of, after the sweetness, there's a little bit of tartness there. But it's purely all rhubarb and custard. It smells, it does what it says on the tin. Right, let's give it a try. Bottoms up, down the hatch. I'm looking forward to this, Andrew. Oh, it's got the tartness of a rhubarb, I'll give it that. It's almost sourish. Whoa. It smells a lot sweeter than it tastes. It's actually a good thing. If I was blind tasting that, well maybe no, because the smell would probably give it away that it doesn't smell like soda pop gunny like a sour beer, but it tastes like a sour beer. So you get it in your mouth, and it sizzles down the side of your tongue, but there's a little bit of sweet malt comes through the middle, but it's only a little, so it's not necessarily sweet, but you get a tiny little hint of it. Then dashing down the side of your tongue, it's tart, like rhubarb, real tart rhubarb. If you've ever had rhubarb on its own without the crumble, without the sugar, it is quite a tart fruit, and that's what you're getting from this. So it does taste more rhubarby. The custard elements there in the smell, definitely there in the smell, but not in the taste. It's got like a bit of fizz to it, a bit of carbonation. It does fizz. If you leave it in your mouth and swirl it around a bit, it really does fizz down the side of your tongue. Whoa. I'd say that was a sour beer. Personally, taste profile rather than a pale ale. It even has like the little water aftertaste of just water at the back end, like a sour beer does. I like it. It doesn't taste like a pale ale though. It's an interesting one. Right, Don't Mess With Yorkshire, Rhubarb and Custard Pale Ale. So, Don't Mess With Yorkshire, don'tmesswithyorkshire.com. It's also got is that an Instagram or Instagram at Don't Mess With Yorkshire. Northern Monk Brew Co. Old Flax Store, Holbeck, Leeds. Unpasteurised and unfiltered for proper flavour. May have a light haze. It's right though. We made it that way. This is a fresh product and should be experienced as such. Excuse me. Do you have any ingredients? Ingredients: water, malted barley, oats, wheat, rhubarb juice, hops yeast, rhubarb essence and custard essence. Not getting the custard in the flavour though. It's pure tart rhubarb. What's the best before date on that? Oh, it's March next year. So it's not like it's... I've had it a few months though. Maybe I've not had it as long as I thought I've had it. It's blown my mind. Well, not blown my mind, but it's sort of confused me a bit because I was expecting maybe something more hoppy. I ain't getting it. I'm just getting tart rhubarb. It's like it's a sour beer. Lace Vision, not done any Lace Vision. Sorry for those that love the lacing. So I would jig it in the glass and see how it looks. Pretty good to be fair. Looks really nice. And yeah, the bubbles. It's got a good head on it. It's more head retention better on a pale ale than a sour. Whoa, that's tart. That's really tart. That's tarter than some of the sours I had last time round. Whoa. Rating wise then, what do I think? I quite like rhubarb, and it's very, 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 very tart rhubarb. That's kind of all you're getting though, and then you're getting like quite a refreshing, watery aftertaste similar to a sour beer. I'd say it was a sour, not a pale ale. The only thing is there's not much else bar the rhubarb. There's nothing much else going on with it. There's not really much of an aftertaste at all. It goes quite dry, and then that little bit of water that sort of makes you feel a bit hydrated rather than dehydrated. But there's no aftertaste to it. It's just pure, that fizz down the side of your tongue. Fizz is almost like a Prosecco would down the side of your tongue, which sounds a bit weird. And it's just pure tart rhubarb. So to me, it's a rhubarb sour, not a pale ale. Would I give it a thumbs up? Yeah, I would, yeah. I'd give it a thumbs up as a sour. As a pale ale, probably be about there. But I like it. I like the taste of it because I like rhubarb. It's very tart. Hopefully the next beer is a bit more hoppy or bitter or... Whoa, not as tart as that. Whoa. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. And if you like sour beers and you like rhubarb flavoured sour beers, even though that says it's a rhubarb and custard pale ale, go have a look in your Morrisons. It might be in the juice section. Like, share, subscribe. Ciao for now, people. See ya.